This is actually daytime, which is a change for me. Light sanding, I used some 240 sandpaper, as you can see. It's from my sander. Okay, 240. Hello. And I did some light, very light sanding on it, and I can see it's beautiful. I love it. That's exactly what I wanted. And with the varnish, it's gonna come out like very bright blue, and that's gonna be beautiful. So I'm very happy with the result. Happy days. There's actually some purple hues in the wood because the wood is a bit reddish, so with the blue it looks nice. Anyway, I'm gonna varnish all over, and that's gonna be the skin anyway going there, so can't wait to put them back together. Yay! So this is the next step. Quick drying varnish. It's satin. I wanted to get gloss originally, but I think satin will be better. I don't like highly glossy things, so it's nice. I'm gonna start inside, so like that I'll be able, when it's dry, to handle it properly. I'm gonna put only probably one coat inside. I don't need that much protection anyway. I'm planning then to put about 3 coats on the outside on the blue. I'm using a low odor varnish. I'm not really used to varnish, so I probably look like a caveman doing that. I should probably follow the grain of the wood as I'm doing that. On the rim as well, on the bearing edge, as you can see, is nice and shiny. I'm quite happy with that. It really brings out the wood. Okay, this is my piece of scrap that's just been varnished there. As you can see, the light coming through. It makes the blue very nice, and as expected, you can see the grain of the wood through it. Covered my table. I'm gonna tear off masking tape. There we go. I'm gonna tear off all those 6 pieces of. It brings, of course, the nice color of the wood. It actually brings out the sheety patch I made there, but hey, I have to live with it now. It looks ugly, but what else can I do? It's very rewarding to do that. It gives kind of a solemn feeling of casting what I've done so far in some sort of varnish, for instance, but it seems like it's setting everything, and now I can't turn back. I still can't turn back. I still sand and restart, but it feels great. It feels like I'm finishing, even though it's far from being finished. There you go. So just spreading the other varnish, but I'm going in the way of the grain. And that's it, that's what it's done. It's all shiny, it's all blue. So I've put the first coat of the outside, and you really can see through the blue and the wood. It's actually beautiful. Very, very happy with that. Now, if you've never worked with varnish, and this is actually my second time working with varnish, you absolutely need a light. As you can see, all the reflection of the light, and you'll know if you missed a spot or not. Okay, a screw that is well rusted, as you can see, okay? And I made a little test. So this is before, and this is after, okay? There's a big difference, no comparison. We have some rusted screws from the Toms. In there I've put some malt vinegar and a bit of other vinegar, white wine vinegar. What's happening is, I don't know if you see it, but it's starting to bubble. And the vinegar for the next 24 hours, that small plastic container, will get rid of the rust after just an hour. Yucky. Okay, this is where you need to get organized. This is the 13-inch. I'm gonna take some lugs out of here and I'm gonna clean it. So I've seen something on YouTube. Because of you people that are watching YouTube, I'm gonna clean those with some alufoil and some Coke. You see the kind of dirty. I'm sure I could get away with just soap and water, but I want to be fancy. There's a bit of oxidation, so it will get rid of it. Pouring a tiny bit of Coke on it just to make it wet, okay? And then I use a piece of alufoil. I'm wearing gloves as well because rubbing the aluminium on chrome makes kind of a nasty black juice. Plus the Coke, very sticky. So this is what it looks like after kind of scrubbing it. It looks nice, it looks shiny, it looks better. Of course I showed you the 13 bag, but the 13 bag I won't need because the 13 bag is gonna become a snare drum. So what I meant is the 12-inch bag. And you do the exact same thing. I just showed you the 13-inch bag, but the 12-inch bag, 12-inch parts, exactly the same thing. The snare, remember we got a 14-inch snare with 8 lugs. Now we're gonna transform it into a 13-inch snare, and I'll only need 6 lugs. The double lugs, I'm gonna need this part, which I forgot the name, forgive me. So today I did a bit of tracing. I took the 13-inch hoop and I marked the exact point for the screws. Of course I did a bit of geometry, so those lines have been traced to find the center. The center is here. Okay, this is the snare lugs, double-sided, of course. Square like that, and made a line. Okay, from that line along the thing, and I just marked it. I drilled holes of 6 millimeters. Okay, so much for taking care of my drilling. As you can see, the wood has split a bit, but I'm no worksman, as I said before. And what it does, it fits perfectly. Up, there you go, holding, and with my nicely unrusted screw, it's gonna look nice. So this is the snare, almost finished, starting to shine with the lugs. Hey, hey! What I want to do is to put a kind of a padding between the wood and the metal. Okay. Ideally, some rubber, thin rubber, would be ideal, but I don't have any rubber, so I went looking and I found some scraps of material. It's kind of leathery material that might just do the padding I need. So this is it. Makes kind of a nice padding. It's very rough again, but I don't mind that. It's going to protect the shell. Excellent. It's been over 36 hours since we started the vinegar bath. Once again, wear gloves because this thing stinks and it's gonna be very dirty, So there you go, 20 minutes later, this is what happened. Let me tell you, there's some good stuff and some bad stuff. Good stuff if you have somewhat unrusted screws like that. Okay, it's not perfect, but at least most of the rust is gone, as I showed you previously. So if the idea of this project as well is to be on a budget. If you have the patience and you have 20 minutes or 30 minutes to spare, go for it, knock yourself out. It was absolutely horrendous process, especially when halfway through the gloves ripped. What did I expect? I don't know, but now I will think. And if you have €5 to spare, maybe you could go to your DIY or hardware shop and get new screws and new washers, up to you. But I wanted to go through the process and clean them. It was very tedious, it was long, it was horrible. I told you it was gonna stain. This is inside of my glove after I removed it. This is my thumb, nice yellow thumb. It looks like I've been chain smoking. And I'm gonna smell of vinegar. I was told to stop the acidity of the vinegar. I need to put them in washing soda, which I just did, and I'm just gonna cover it in water. There you go, normal water. Just cover it. I did bath for a couple of hours, 2-3 hours. That will be enough. Okay, I had about 50 screws that spent the night in washing soda mix. It turned out to kind of clean them very nicely. The vinegar plus that. I put some WD-40 on it just to make sure they won't rust again. Anyway, from now, it looks like now. I put all the lugs back onto all the shells. And this is the newly unrusted screws, nice, eh? So the inside, and this is the outside. So this is the lugs, and I have the snare right there. Okay. So this is what it looks like so far. It's very nice. We're about 4 weeks into the project, taking the time, but it's shaping up nicely.